Good morning. Here we are on day 24 of our reading plan. We're right in the middle of the book of Job. We have Job chapter 18 and 19 here on day 24. This is Bildad, who is the second friend, coming up to bat for the second time. And he comes up and he's taking issue with Job thinking that God's mad at him. And he says in verse 4, 18:4, God's not the one mad at you, you're the one mad at God. Says, you tear yourself up in anger. And then he goes on to describe the plight of the wicked. Say, you must be a wicked guy, Job. And this is what's going to happen to wicked guys. They're all going to be forgotten. And after you die, there's going to be nothing left of you. Nobody's going to even remember you at all. And he describes it in terms of a trap in verses 8 through 10, 18, 8 through 10, he uses 6 different words for trap. There's the net, mesh, trap, noose, rope, and snare, saying that all of these things are waiting for the wicked person. Job, however, says, you guys are just tormenting me. I'm the one that I don't get any justice, and all of you who are supposed to be my friends are just terrible friends. Now, in chapter 19, Job starts to believe, or we start to see that Job feels like he is not getting any justice. In verse 7, I get no justice. And then he starts to believe that God is his enemy. Look in verse 11. His anger burns against me, and he regards me as one of his enemies. We have a couple of picturesque phrases here. It says, my breath is offensive to my wife. All my friends have turned against me, and I have escaped by the skin of my teeth. That's where that phrase comes from. So he's just going on in his misery, explaining his misery, and says, why do you guys persecute me like God does? So his perspective is a little skewed. Yes, he doesn't have things that are happening to him are not right. So justice is not being delivered yet. But God has not forgotten him. And God is not his enemy, and God is not persecuting him. So we'll see that later. But we do see one of the greatest statements of faith in all of Scripture. In verse 25, this is 19:25. We've got to underline this one here. I know that my Redeemer lives, and he will stand on the earth at last. After my skin has been destroyed, I will see God in my flesh. One of the greatest statements of faith and affirmations of life after death, and being able to stay and see God in the future after we are no longer here. So, be blessed.